All right, welcome back, guys. We got another one today. I'm super excited for this interview. We are with Alana. So let's start off by telling everybody a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about me. I am a musician. I'm a model, songwriter. I've done reality TV, Love Island USA, season 1. So I do a little bit of this, do a little bit of that, but overall, I'm just a creative, and I enjoy to create. Like I enjoy creating things. I enjoy performing, and having a good time.
All right, and what came first? Did music come first? Did you model when you were younger? How did that start?
So how it really started was I would do like a lot of like internet skits and stuff like that. So I started my like creative process and creating videos and YouTube videos and things like that in that way. And then in high school, I was given the opportunity to start modeling. So I started doing that. While I was modeling, I was able to meet people for music, because what was happening was I was always just writing songs, no beats or nothing, just clapping my hands and like, making music. And then I decided for my birthday, I was like, oh, I'm gonna like perform one of the songs that I wrote. I did that, and people actually liked the song. And the producer who made the song, I remember he was just like, you ever thought of a career in singing? And I was like, no, I don't think anybody would listen to me. And he's just like, I don't think that. And then when I played the song at the party, I was like, maybe this could work. So I was able to link up with some different producers and just started making music and just focusing on like writing good songs. And from there it just kept going. And then in college I just continued performing, continued with it, and now even still.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think I actually remember that party. I think that was the party that I went to, and it was dope. To finally see somebody that I knew performing and for it to be at your party, it was definitely a fun time. Especially me being me,
right?
I'm somebody that's not even at every single party, but it was dope. It was a fun time.
Nah, it was, and that was a song I remember. Literally, I was singing it to the models. I was just like clapping my hands or like patting my legs when I was singing it, and people would sing it back to me. Like they'd be like, "Oh, I was thinking of your song." I'm like, "It's literally not a song yet," but they still knew the words. So I was like, "All right, let me just keep going with this and see what can happen."
And how old were you when that happened?
Maybe like I started doing that around like 16, 15, but also in middle school, the school like we went to, town meeting, I'd always write for my class the town meeting chants or remixes and stuff like that. So it always started off me just like always making some type of song or some type of remix. So I just kept going with it, and now it turned into this.
And so, would you say that you've always been musical since you were a kid, or was there a point where you started to write and really take it seriously?
I guess I've always been musical. I grew up in church, and I was like in the choir, so that was something just automatically you had to do. And then you do like praise teams, praise and worship teams. Yeah, and then I have like people in my family that like make music, are involved in it, whether like production or like singing themselves. So I feel like it was either like bound to happen. And then my aunt, she could sing really well, and she would always like play different songs. So it just happened. Like it just was a way of life, part of life.
All right, so I want to talk about the Love Island process. Obviously, I think that was arguably probably your biggest thing right now, and the show went crazy. You're very, very popular on the show. First, talk about what is Love Island for anybody who hasn't seen the show.
It's an international show, but I was on the first season of the U.S. version of it. So it's a show where you have like different like single people, and you don't know anyone, you don't see them until you're actually on the island. And it's like you meet different couples, and you have to not couples, different singles people, and then we couple up and do a series of like recouplings and eliminations and things like that. And like if you're the last couple standing by the end, you win the grand prize of 100,000. But also, get your love. And then all the other couples, you find your love, but you don't get the money.
So how was the auditioning process for that? Was that the first show that you auditioned for?
So it was interesting. What a lot of people don't know is like I didn't know the show existed, and they DM'd me. Okay. And this is before like I did not have a crazy following. I think I had like 1,000 followers, if that, when they found me. And they DM me, asked me like, "Oh, would you like to be a part of the show? Are you single?" That was the first question. Like, "Are you single?" I was like, "Oh yeah." They were like, "Oh, would you like to be part of the show?" Da da da. And I'm like, "Yo, this is fake."
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, "This is a good one. Y'all might hit me." But then they were like, "No, take the interview. This is serious." So then I took the interview, realized and looked up the show and realized it was real. And I just once I took my first interview, the second interview they flew me out to LA.
Oh, that's dope.
And then I met the executives, or no, the producers of the show. I talked to them. They kept me in LA for the week and made me meet the executives. I like cracked jokes with them, left. Maybe like a month or two later, they called me and told me like I'm an original Islander. So it wasn't like a hard I didn't really like. I auditioned obviously, but it's just more so like I was just talking, having conversations in the interview, and they ended up just liking me. So it just all aligned.
Mm-hmm. And now that you're not on the show any longer, do you still find yourself staying in touch with some of the co-stars, or not so much?
One of my like closest friends is on that like from the show. Well, one of my closest friends I met is like we met on the show. And before that's the joke I always used to say. I remember when we came in the house, I was like, "Listen, I ain't here to make no friends. I'm here to find love." Didn't find love, but actually one of my closest friends. It just happened. So it was cool overall. It was like a good experience. And also there's more people from the show that like we still keep in touch with each other. People from other seasons. I'm cool with people from like season 2, season 3. Like it's cool.
Well, I'm happy that you were still able to get something from it, you know, even though you didn't end up being the winner. But obviously, you know, it seems as though you almost were. You have, you know, a huge following now. You have almost 60K followers on Instagram. You're verified. You know, you obviously have a lot of things moving forward for you now that, you know, that show was, you know, something that you were able to do. So that's really great for you.
Thank you.
Do you plan on trying to audition for any shows in the future? Do you think you want to continue with reality TV or acting, or do you want to stick with music for right now?
So I'm not opposed to doing any more reality TV. Regardless, I love entertainment. So and I currently still model and stuff like that. So I'm with it. I'll do more TV work, but I know eventually, like I still want it to steer back into the music. I would do those other things that I'm doing to be able to get an audience so that I could be able to still push my music. Because I want people to hear it. I want people to vibe out to it. I like music. I like expressing myself. And, you know, when people connect with it, it just makes it even better.
Yes, so you are taking music more seriously right now. You have a performance tomorrow in Brooklyn that you know I'm very excited for. Can you talk about the process of becoming an artist? Some of the things that some people may not see.
Before Love Island happened and anything of like that, before the numbers came, before anything like that, I literally for like 3 years was in a studio just writing songs and singing them. A lot of stuff that he never came out. There's stuff that was able to come out. But literally, it was just repetition. Like, consistency is everything. So you just have to do it over and over and over again. But then also with this, outside of just like the physical, like of singing and dancing, like you have to market yourself and learn that. It's at the end of the day, I feel like the music business period is probably like 10-20% music, 80% business. So you got to study that. Even me, I'm still learning that now more. I was so focused on like the writing all the time that it was like, okay, yeah, you can have a good song, but you need to get it in front of the right audience. To me right now, I feel like audience is everything. I always say, even just in everyday life though, even when you think about it, like if you're hungry, who you gonna tell? You gonna tell the man down the street you hungry, or you gonna tell your mom you hungry? You're gonna get a different response based off your audience. Yeah. So just be very mindful of that. You're gonna get a lot of no's, and a lot of things are not gonna go how you want it to. But that's a good thing, because it just means it's not aligned with where you need to be at. I even think of, I kind of have changed my frame of mind, because I even think of it of like the whole Love Island situation. I had so much stuff that was not going wrong, but not going how I wanted it to. And I'm like, oh, like, I hate this. Like, what I do to have it my way? Everything that I wanted to happen, if I had everything happen the way I wanted it to, I never would have got on Love Island. The stories I was able to tell that made them laugh so hard, all those are moments that things did not go the way I wanted. Those were the stories. The same things that I hated was what made the come up. So you have to remember that, like, it's all like it's a journey. It's not you're there. And to be honest, once you're there, never forget that nothing changes. Mm-hmm. Literally, I promise you, like, you're the same person. The way you think is the way you think. It's not your circumstances that changes. It's like you that has to change. So, like, never look at something on the outside to make that difference. Like, I can give you $1 million. I mean, that's different. But you get what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, if I gave you $1 million, or if I gave you, like, fame, if I gave you this, the same things that you think, the way you're thinking that you needed to fix, the problem's still going to be there. The difference is you're distracted with something else in the whole process. It will never, like, change. So you just have to appreciate the fact that, you know what, I'm going to be where I'm going to be, and I'm going to get to where I'm going to get to. But let me enjoy it, and let me see how this plays out. Because if you truly believe in yourself, oh, it's going to play out. It's a story. So you have to kind of watch your life like an episode. You could sit down and watch TV shows, watch your life. And it's helped change my perspective on a lot of things, and, like, a lot have been happening and going well because of that. Or even if it's going wrong, to me, it feels like it's going well because I'm like, oh, I guess this is a part of the story.
But I love your story because you are somebody that has found light in some of those dark places. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just from hearing you speak, those moments when you may have thought something wasn't mm-hmm. working out was actually some of your most empowering moments, mm-hmm. because they led to the foundation to where you are today.
Right.
And so I really think that that's something that a lot of people who are just branching out, just maybe starting off and are struggling with some motivation, can really take that advice. You're definitely somebody that will know best from, you know, being at both ends of the spectrum, mm-hmm. for sure.
And it's one of those things where, like, I'm even myself, I constantly even learning myself with consistency. I'll say this. Getting a big following how I did, and it was so immediate, because, like I said, like, going in, I had like 1,000. I didn't build a huge following. So when everything happened, I never learned to build a community. I just got one. Mm-hmm. So you don't know how to truly, like, take care of a community of people that you have. So now here I am, fast forward, I still have to go back and learn these lessons. So even as of recently, I was literally having to, like, study for, like, months, like, how to, like, you create the right content, what's going to hit, what isn't. And literally in the last month of, like, me having planned my page out from, like, 2 months prior, only right now am I finally seeing 2 months later the page starting to grow and change, and the engagements and all that stuff move very differently, because, you know, social media is kind of crazy. Yeah. Right. So now I'm finally able to see growth, but it's like, even for me, it's all just consistency. Like, you have to do it. Like, make a plan. What they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. Mm-hmm. It's like that. So just make a plan and, like, really move intuitively, but also educate yourself. YouTube will teach you everything, and anything, and really look at the patterns and everything that what you're doing, and really see, like, where can I go? Where can it get me?
All right. So tell everybody where you're from, mm-hmm. Where you were, you know, raised, and how that played into your journey to becoming where you are today.
I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut. New Haven. My family's Jamaican, but I feel like that too. Hey, but yeah, no. I think just whatever community I was in, I really just put myself in it and just was being fully myself in that environment. So being in my city, like, summer programs, I really took advantage of those programs, and really, like, whatever activities I fully threw myself into. If it was opportunities to dance, if it was opportunity to sing, and all creative things, I took those opportunities that were offered to me because they're there. You know what I'm saying? I think also just being in a city of other people who are all, like, we're near Yale, there's a lot of opportunities and stuff like that. So it's just like working with other creative people, and other people have passions that are similar to yours, and just getting things done, because you literally cannot do anything just alone. Or I bet you if you try, it won't be as good as if you did it with a group of other people. No amazing thing was made by one person alone.
I'm gonna come back to that idea about surrounding yourself with creative people, because I think that that's so important.
Oh, very.
But would you say that, I think there's a lot of people that are intimidated by coming from a smaller city, and they feel as though they can't get their name out there and their art out there as much as maybe somebody from LA or Atlanta, whatever, list goes on. But it seems as though you would say that although that might be a setback, we still have opportunities, locally that a person can really take advantage of if they're really determined to get themselves out there.
Honestly, I don't even look at like New Haven as stopping me from anything happening. That's not even an option. Why? Why would you think of where you are that it can't happen? I think it's just wherever you are is where you need to be to prepare. I could have said like nothing can happen. When I got Love Island, I was in Connecticut. I did a semester at Wesleyan. Literally, I could have been like, I'm in Middletown, Connecticut. Ain't nothing for me. Oh, if you're like opportunity and preparation, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I mean, that I didn't really prepare for. Actually, I did. I literally, and during that moment, I just tried to myself intuitively. It was like, intuitively, it was like, how can I show up as my best self? Whether it's like getting up every day, putting on your favorite fit or your best thing every day, like showing up, being positive, showing up even when you don't want to. And it all end up lining up. You know what I'm saying? Or, hey, I need this equipment. I remember even the pictures they found of me were pictures I didn't want to take at first. I was like, oh, I need this background to like look like this. I need my pictures to look like everybody else's. If I'm not prepared, then like with that, then nothing will work for me. And I was just like, use what you have. Even like the house we were in was like super crooked. They had like cardboard like stuffed under the house, like the background. It was just looking crazy. But I was just like, all right, well, I'm gonna take the picture anyway. Then I was like, I have a bad iPhone at the time because I had like this like 2019. I had like the 6 or the 5. Like my phone was like still old, and I was like, well, I don't have the right camera. Use the back camera because clearly the back camera works better than the front. So I did that. Those same pictures that I kept saying, oh, like I can't do anything with these. Those are the pictures that got me to where it was. You just use what you have. So like being from a small city, all that means is you just in a small city. What that got to do with what? Can you still perform? Can you still like prepare yourself to put on a performance? It's too much talent around for it not to, you know what I'm saying? For things to work. Everybody who was here is from Connecticut as well. Talented individuals.
Very.
To me, even when I watch them, I'm like, to me, I feel like we ready for the main stage, period. So what's that got to do with our circumstances now? Like, it's just about getting there. Like, when the opportunity presents itself, and clearly, like, we're ready.
You mentioned how it's very, very important to surround yourself with creatives, and that, kind of pushes the motivation when you're surrounding yourself by people that have similar drives as you. Can you speak about the importance of networking when it comes down to, starting off and getting your name out there?
That's very important because you don't know who's who. You don't know who's going to become who. And I think it's also just like, it's nice to have like good relationships with people. You get job opportunities like that. You get more performance opportunities like that. You get insight and information that you might not have known by working with people, like, and being open just to have a conversation and stuff with everyone. So it's important, I think. But it's also important very much to listen. Just listen. Listen. Yeah, like, nah, but it's networking is essential. I wouldn't be at all where I'm at now, even places I'm trying to go, I'm aware that I do need to continue to speak to more people. But also I try to make quality networks, like quality relationships. I'm not just there trying to get from people. You also have to have something to offer as well. So that's something too, making sure it's like a valuable and like meaningful relationship on both ends, because like, nobody want to be there and be like, I'm always doing something and I get nothing from you. I don't, what is this?
So earlier we mentioned how you have a big performance tomorrow in Brooklyn. Can you speak, is there any memorable experiences you've had performing in the past that, will always stick with you?
I remember my first performance in college. That was my first time like really putting a show together, where I was getting some dancer friends and trying to do that, and getting a guitarist to like play while I'm singing a cover. So that was fun. I think that was my first time really thinking like, I really could do this. All it takes is just like getting the pieces together. Another one was when I was at Wesleyan. I think that was like right after I had like left the production company I was like working with, and like I had like lost all my music. And I remember thinking to myself, so all I had was my MP3s. And I just remember right before I went to go do the performance, I was on the phone with my mom. And I was just like, I don't know if I could do this anymore. What if I'm not talented? What if I'm this? What if I'm not this? And I just remember my mom was just like, you did it all before, so what's so different now? And I was like, that's all you gotta say. I got off the phone. And it was time to go on. And I just remember, because again, I'm at a new school. Nobody knew me. Nobody this was truly a campus that nobody knew who I was or like saw me. And I was just thinking, it's my first time being in front of people who don't know me. They don't got to clap. They don't got to do nothing. And the question they might be like, is who the hell does she think she is? Whoever this girl is that's about to come out here. And I just remember thinking like, I guess when I go up here, I'm going to just have to make them think, what the F? And I remember I went out and I blacked out. But I do remember like running up and down the stairs of the performances and just acting crazy. And by the end, everybody was like, oh, snap. Like, who is this girl? Because again, I didn't go to the school really, for real. So they was just like, and at that moment, for me, it was like, y'all don't know me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to support me. But whatever I just did made you do it. And then off that, I was getting a lot more performance opportunities. And that's when it all clicked. Like, I don't care. I could do it. I could literally do whatever I put my mind to, because I can. But you have to, like, for me, there's no other, like, it has to be like I could do whatever I think I could do. For real.
By the time this video gets out, the Kehlani Raffles definitely.
I said that man like I could do whatever I want.
But is that, do you plan on doing future raffles for more tickets?
Yes, yeah. Like I want to do more raffles and more giveaways. The more music that I'm putting out, I'm kind of trying to partner with different companies, as well as even do my own personal like raffle giveaways. Yeah, I want to do more and interact with my audience more, be able to give them stuff and do things. So definitely, and people participate in them. I ain't playing. I got some free tickets.
Like guys. Tap in the free tickets.
Tap in, like
it's free tickets.
It's free. I want to give these tickets away. Like, come on.
So I see that you just now dropped the window shopping video. Congratulations to that.
Thank you.
Is there any other future projects that you can say right now that's not hidden that you can tell people to look out for?
I'm in the process right now of working on another music video. Which I'm really excited about, for a song that I have called I Want You. So we're in the process of working on that. I hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm trying to work on getting a tour together.
Dope.
Yes. So I'm trying to, there's the logistics and things of that nature with it, but I'm trying to get that done. So yeah, any idea that I really think in my head, I'm like, this could work. I just try and figure out like, okay, what do you need to do and what do I have that's close that'll make this work, and let all the pieces come together. Because even my performance, that I have, for a second, I was like, I'll just go and perform. Then it was like, no, why don't you really put on a show? Mm-hmm. And then a part of me was kind of nervous because I'm like, this is my first performance since college. And that was like a couple years ago. And for a second, I just was like, yeah, let me just go perform by myself. And then I was like, no, really try and put something together. But this time is different. Because normally, if you're on a college campus, all you got to do is go to the dance club. Yeah. This time, we're in real life. So you really have to go find dancers, and hope that people really, when you send out castings, hope that people really respond with the submissions. And I was a little nervous. I'm like, maybe no one would do this, maybe. And now look at it all coming together. And the more people you meet through it, these dancers are even just like so talented, and there's even more talented people too, that like I was able to see their submissions as well. So it's just like that's networking as well too, of finding different people to work with. So it's a vibe. It's a vibe. And it's happening. You always have to remember that too. Like whatever you're trying to do or wherever you're trying to be, don't forget that like whatever you like, if you have it locked in your mind that it is what it is, know that it's happening. Mm-hmm. You might not be at the end, but you're literally in the process of it happening. So like y'all have this. When y'all was ordering the cameras, it was happening. Mm-hmm. Till we got to the point where we got here. Mm-hmm.
Alana, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed speaking with you. You know, obviously inviting me to your rehearsal and seeing all the hard work that you're putting in was even more inspirational, not only for myself, but I'm sure for plenty of other viewers. Lastly, just tell everybody how they can find you. We're on social media.
I am on social media as simply SIMPLYY_ALANA. That is simply _Lana. Again, simply _Lana, but simply with 2 Y's.
All right. Peace.
Bye.
Welcome back to Toe Family. Today we're with somebody who I just now met, but I'm already a fan of, Sinque. So,
hello.
Start by introducing yourself.
Hello, y'all. My name is Sinque, aka Sinqueezy. I also go by the Energizer Bunny because I got a lot of energy. But yeah, I'm from New Haven, Connecticut, born and raised. Yeah.
All right. So you are a dancer, choreographer, actor, very, very talented. Mm-hmm. You know, a book of talents.
Thank you.
So, how did you get started? Talk about that.
So I started. Well, I've always just been naturally like in it. Like I always had a fascination for the arts, acting, and dance. So I started just like watching TV, watching YouTube, and then eventually I got into a dance school, did that for like a year, and then I just kept going. And I don't know, it's always just been natural to me. I've just been working on it myself, and that's basically how I got started. And forcing my cousins to dance with me, you know, at the cookouts and stuff, forcing them to, you know, choreograph and whatnot. And that's basically it. Yeah.
So, do you remember how old you were when you first joined the dance school?
I want to say I was maybe 10, 9, 10. I started, and then I got pulled out because, you know, my grades. And then I went back again, maybe like 2 years after, like 13, and then again pulled out because of my grades. But that was probably the first time. I think maybe 9, 10, maybe 8.
Wow, yeah. So you started off very, very young. Mm-hmm. I'm not a dancer. I wish I could be. But from what I see.